Okay, so today we're going to do our notes or classwork on a worksheet, old school. So if you can print it out, that would be great, or just follow along with me on the video. So as I mentioned yesterday, you guys are going to be learning some factoring techniques. Polynomial division is going to help you, is going to be a skill set you'll need to do the more difficult factoring of the bigger polynomials. So that's what we're focusing on today. So we're going to start off with multiplying. So multiplying this area model. So remember, you do like this times this. And remember, each quadrant in here, right, is that times it. So they're numbered and lettered, so you can like see which box I'm referring to, right? So you want to do b times 2 to get this one, so that would be 8x to the 4th. Then b times 3 will be 12x cubed. Then b times 4 will be negative 4x squared. And then b times 5 will be negative 10x. And then c times 2 will be, negative 12 x cubed. And then there we get negative 18x squared. Then positive 6x, and then positive 15. And then for our final answer, right, then we just combine like terms. So like the x cubes are like terms, the x squareds are like terms, and they're usually on the diagonal if you have them in standard form. So then that's and they write it here, 8x to the 4th, and just double checking, those cancel, and then you get negative 22x squared, and then negative 4x plus 15. Okay, so now it says work backwards to fill in the missing parts of the area model and what are the factor and product of factors and product of the puzzle. So x times what is 2x to the 4th, right? 2x cubed. And now we are able to fill in this one. 2x cubed times negative 4 is negative 8x cubed. And then negative 4 times what is negative 12x squared? Well, to get negative 4 to 12, you need a negative 3. And then you need x squared. And then now you can multiply those. That's negative 3x cubed. And then negative 2x times x is negative 2x. I'm like negative 2x squared. And then negative 2x times negative 4 is 8x. Okay, and then this is that part of the answer, 12x. So then that must mean that this is, since this is 8x plus 4x, so that's 12x. So then this must be 4, and that must be negative 16. So you're right, our answer, negative 16. And then here are the dimensions. And then like terms, there's our 12x. Right, there's a and those canceled. Then here's that. So 12x squared minus 2x squared is 10x squared. And then that's negative 11x cubed. And that's 2x to the 4th. So I'm not going to color code it so it doesn't get all weird. Okay, so how is cell B2 related to the answer? So this is cell B2. It's the first term in the answer. And how do you determine the third term in your answer? So it's cell B4, so this one, plus cell C3. And then what cells do you use to get the value in cell B5? So B5. Cell 5, or it's 4 times x. Okay, so Jessica is about to start the intermediate level puzzle shown below. So show Jessica how to complete the puzzle and make sure you can justify your solution. So now they give you all of the answer and then just one of the dimensions. So basically we need to find out what the other dimension is, essentially. So by working backwards. So it's 6x cubed. So that must mean this, right? Since we learned before, like this B2 is going to be our first term. So that's our first term. So 2x times what is 6x cubed? It's 3x squared. And we know this last term is going to go here, right? And then we can find these other terms. So 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. And then remember, these two added is going to be, so these two added is going to be this term. So 15x squared plus what is 7x squared? Well, negative 8x squared. And then you work backwards. 2x times what is negative 8x squared? Negative 4x. Right? And then now we can multiply those. Negative 4x times 5 is negative 20x. So then along this diagonal, so along that diagonal needs to add up to negative 16x. So negative 16x. So to get from negative 20x to negative 16x, this must be 4x. So then 2x times what is 4x? 2. Okay, so then basically we're working backwards. So really we're doing, since it's this times this equals this, then 6 divided by this equals that. So this expression divided by 2x plus 5 is what we have here. 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. So 2x plus 5 times 3x squared minus 4x plus 2 equals 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus 16x plus 10. Okay, now, this is important. This area model method is the way that your book teaches. I'm going to teach you an additional way, and this is the way that I will be using from the future, because this is the way that you use when you go to trig and when you go to calculus. So you may use like the area model to do division like this if you like, but know that I will be using this, and it's important that you understand this, because like I said, this is what you use if you continue with math. So this long division works a lot like long division with numbers. So what you want to do is, so this is the same problem. It's this function here, right, divided by this dimension here. So what you want to do is you just kind of look at the first number. So you kind of like ignore here. So it's 2x times what equals 6x cubed. So to go from a 2 to a 6, you need a 3. And to go to x cubed, you need x squared. So you need 3x squared. And then you put that in the x squared like place, right? So you put 3x squared here. Now, if you remember from like long division, once you have one value, then you take this whole thing and you multiply it to all of this. So 3x squared times 2x is 6x cubed, and 3x squared times 5 is 15x squared. And then once you do that, So you can see there it is, right? Once you do that, you subtract. Right? And then you go 7x squared minus positive 15x squared is giving you negative 8x squared. Right? And you remember, now you bring down the next place value. So negative 16x squared. Okay, and then now you do the same thing. So now you cover up this. 2x times what is negative 8x squared. So to go from 2 to negative 8, you need a negative 4. And to go from x to x squared, you need an x. So it's negative 4x. And you put that, you see, over the x place. And then now you take this whole thing and then you multiply. So it's negative 4x times 2x is negative 8x squared. And then negative 4x times 5 is negative 20x. And then you subtract. So again, you can see those show up in this as well. So then those cancel, and then you get negative 16x minus negative 20, which is basically plus 20, so that's 4x. Now you bring down the next place value, and then you cover those up. So 2x times what is 4x? 2. And then you take this and you multiply this whole thing. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times 5 is 10. And then you subtract, and you get 0. So that means, and that 0 is your remainder. So that means that 2x plus 5 goes into this like evenly. Right? So that means 6x cubed plus 7x squared minus 16x plus 10 divided by 2x plus 5, right, equals 3x squared minus 4x plus 2. Right? So it goes in evenly, no remainder. Alright, let's try this with the other one. So use long division to solve this. So set up your long division. So 3x plus 1, and then 6x squared plus 11x minus 12x minus 1. Okay, now again, you cover up, you only focus on the first term. So 3x, well, that's got to be wrong, isn't it? Probably. One moment, folks. Oh yeah. Thank you for your patience. Need to fix that on my x cubed squared. Okay, so x cubed squared. Okay, so again, focus on the first terms. 3x times what is 6x cubed? So to go from 3 to 16 to 2, and to get x to x cubed, you need an x squared. So you put 2x squared above the x squared place. And then now you take this whole thing and you multiply all of it. So 2x squared times 3x is 6x cubed, and 2x squared times 1, 2x squared. Right? And then you subtract. Those go away. Then you get 9x squared. Bring down the negative 12x. And now the same thing. So then cover this up. 3x times what is 9x squared? Right, to go from 3 to 9 you need 3. X to x squared you need an x. So 3x. And 3x times 3x is 9x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. and then you subtract. Trickiest part, I think, is remember is your sign. So it's negative 12x minus positive 3x. That gives you negative 15x. Bring down the negative 1. Okay, so cover this up. 3x times what is negative 15x? Negative 5. So negative 5 times 3x is negative 15x. Negative 5 times 1 is negative 5. Then you subtract, and then you get 4. Okay, so since we didn't get 0, this does not go into that evenly. So we have a remainder of 4. So to write it, we go, this equals 2x squared plus 3x minus 5, and then you put your plus and your remainder, and then over what you divided by. So 3x plus 1. Okay, so that's what we divided by. That's our remainder. That's what we divided by. And then this is our answer. Okay, let's use that to do these two more here. So set up our division. So polynomial division, P of x over d of x, where d of x cannot be 0 because you can't have it on the bottom, can be used to change any polynomial in standard form into the product P of x equals d of x times q of x plus 4, where 4 is the remainder. So use long division to rewrite each polynomial in the form the given divisor. So basically what it's saying is, if we did that with this problem, then 6x cubed minus 11 or plus 11x squared minus 12x minus 1 equals 3x plus 1 times our answer plus our remainder. Boop, boop, doop. Okay, so let's try that here. So 2x cubed minus 21x squared minus 9x minus 30 divided by x minus 11. So cover this up. X times what is 2x cubed? 2x squared. Okay, now we put that in there and multiply both, so you get 2x cubed minus 22x squared. Okay, and then you subtract. So it's negative 21x squared minus negative 22. So that's really a plus 22. So it's x squared. So bring down the negative 9x. So x times what is x squared? X. So then multiply those. X times x is x squared. X times negative 11 is negative 11x. Subtract. And then negative 9x minus negative 11x, right? Positive 2x. Bring down the negative 30. So you add 2. Because 2 times x is 2x. So 2x minus 22. And then you get 8. So rewrite your answer. So this equals x minus 11 times 2x squared plus x plus 2. So that plus our remainder 8. Alright, let's try this one. Or really, try this one on your own and then pause. Pause and try it on your own and then come back. Okay, so this one's a little different. I might have tricked you up there because you do not have, you may or may have not noticed, but all of these have descending degrees without any gaps, right? It goes cubed, squared, 1, 0, like, right? With the degree, right? Degree 3, degree 2, degree 1, degree 0. Because usually this goes degree 4, degree 3, then skips degree 2, and then it goes degree 1, degree 0. So when you do that, you need to make a placeholder. So it's 3x to the 4th plus 5x cubed plus 0x squared minus 4x plus 3 divided by x plus 2. Okay, so then again, just focus on the first terms. X times what is 3x to the 4th? 3x cubed, so you write that in the 3x cubed column. Then you multiply this to all of that, so then that's 3x to the 4th plus 6x cubed. Subtract it, you get negative x cubed. Bring down your 0x squared. And then x times what is negative x cubed? Negative x squared. So the negative x squared times that, you get that. Subtract it, and then you get 2x squared. Bring down your negative 4x. 2x, or x times what is 2x squared? 2x. So 2x times that is going to give you 2x squared. 2x times 2 is going to give you 4x. Then you subtract it, and then you get negative 8x. Last one, bring down the 3. X times what is negative 8x? Negative 8. Then that gives you negative 8x minus 16. Subtract it to get our remainder, and we get a remainder of 19. So our answer is this equals x plus 2 times what we got here at the top, 3x cubed minus x squared plus 2x minus 8 plus 19. Okay, so it says use the original polynomial in part A to evaluate p of 1 equals 11. Then use your written polynomial to evaluate p of 1 equals 11. So basically, plug in 11 to the original one, and then plug in 11 to the other one. So plug in 11 to here, and then plug in 11 to here. Now, since these two are equal, you should get the same thing if you plug in 11. So let's see. If you plug it in your calculator, you're going to get 0. And you plug in 11 minus 1, 2 times 11 squared, plus 11 plus 2 plus 8. You also get 0. Alright, let's try this one. Plug in negative 2 to basically same thing. So plug in negative 2 to this side of the equation, then plug in negative 2 to this side of the equation. So then that's 3 times negative 2 to the 4th plus 5 times negative 2 cubed minus 4 times negative 2 plus 3. You're going to get 0. And if you plug in it to the other one, negative 2. This makes sense more clear here because you're going to get 0 here, right? You can visually see that you're going to get 0. So same with this one. Negative 2 plus 2, you can visually see you're going to get 0 times 3 times negative 2 cubed minus negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 minus 8 plus 19. So that's going to be 0 as well. So it says the remainder theorem states that if a polynomial p of x is divided by x minus c, then the remainder of the value then the remainder is the value of p of c. So why do you think that's true? So yeah, so because x minus c, so like for instance this one, right? Yeah, so x minus c goes into there basically, and the remainder is 0. Basically, that's the idea. Is if you divide by something that goes into it, then the remainder will be 0. So what can you conclude? If it's divided by x minus c, then it means p of c equals 0. Right, when you plug it in, equals 0. Okay, so that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and stay tuned for homework questions on 8.3.1.